He's a dynamic performer and a funny guy. He believes that life is a tragedy when seen in close-up, but a comedy in long shot.
Welcome. And what's your name, please?
My name is Kev Orkian.
Where are you from, Kev?
I'm from Armenia.
Armenia.
Armenia, yes. I'm gonna do Elton John. I learned it from their CD, a very scratchy CD. I copy exactly the way he sing, the way he play, everything.
Kev,
so
got it.
I'm gonna do I'm Still Standing, the CD version.
The CD version. Or the CD version.
Did you think this fool could never win? Did you think this fool could never win? Did you think this fool could never win? Did you think they would look at me? I'm coming back again, I got a taste for love. Simple way if you need to know why I'm still standing, breath away. But don't you know, I'm still standing after all this time. Picking up the beep, 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 beep.
That's good.
All this, I'm still standing, thank you. Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from North London.
That was one of the smartest things I've seen in a long time. 100% yes.
It's a yes from me.
You are through to the next round. Well done.
Most people get into comedy because they like both writing and being on stage. What's your preference?
I love performing, so for me it's about the stage. I write a lot, different jokes, different routines, different stories, different musicals, different dramas, different plays. I constantly write. I think writing's a good thing, but for me the art of performing is a much bigger accolade, because actually getting on stage and representing what you've written or what someone else has written is a much more exciting kind of genre of performing arts than writing for me. So even though I write, I prefer performing it, and I do constantly around the world. You know, different writers, different musicals, different dramas, different plays and films and TV as well. They'll come to me and say, "Look, what do you think of this?" And I'll look at it, and if it excites me, I'll perform it.
And how do you generate the material? Unusual circumstances or lifetime experiences?
It's a bit of both, but I think ultimately it's the fact that I'm taking everyday life situations as a comedian and looking at it in a comedic light. I think if we all looked at life in a more positive kind of way. There's so many tragedies in the world, so many difficult things that happen every day. Don't get me wrong, you know, so you see it on the news every day. I'm not even going to go into how much tragedy there is in the world. But if you can take some humor from that and generate it in a much more positive vibe to a performance that you do anywhere in the world, I think some people of course still, it's very hard for people to accept comedy when something tragic has happened, but I think in general, I think it's an important way to make people continue in life. So I take everyday problems, arguments, tragedies, and I try and convert them into something more comedic for people to see a different way that they could have seen it if they're presented with it on the news or in real life.
And besides, laughter has a healing power.
Totally. And I think they always say, you know, that whole saying, laughter is the best medicine. I think laughter is the best medicine because it extends your life. The more you laugh, the more it extends your life. But I think when you look at it as a form of enjoyment in your own personal life, and you don't take things too seriously in life, I think it does act as medicine for you.
Kev, what happens when the crowd is not engaged?
Okay, well, there have been many situations where I'm either sharing the stage with other performers, alternatively, something's happened during the performance, or alternatively, people just don't get the energy. And when you're doing a performance, and I know like yourself, Asha Luis, when you're doing like television or something, and then you go out and then you meet people, people engage with you because they enjoy it. People engage with you because they see you on television. But there are others that don't have that, I suppose, that personality to come forward and discuss something with you. It's very difficult, and that can go across onto a stage as well and to an audience. So when you're performing and an audience is not engaging with you, you have to pick up on their energy. And it's very important to understand how important it is that happens, because if you don't pick up on energy and you just do your routine or you just do your show, you're going to lose your audience. And when I'm on stage, before I even step onto that stage to perform, I'm usually walking around the back of the theatre. I'm engaging with the audience without speaking to them. I'm just picking up on their energy, picking up on their kind of their positive and their negative vibes. And then when I'm on stage, I level my performance knowing where I'm going to be and where I'm going to take them. So I think you have to be aware of that. And
once you get the feel of it.
Totally. And I think once you get the feel of your audience and you understand them, it's very easy to hold their hand and go, let's go this way. And I think it's very important to acknowledge that as an important part of your performance.
And then they'll follow.
You hope. There have been many shows, I'll be honest with you, particularly around the world, where certain things have not engaged the audience enough. So you do your performance, they respect it, and they may applaud you, and you may walk off the stage not thinking you did a very good job. And other times they may absolutely adore what you've done, and they just don't want you to get off the stage. So you've got to take every audience as a battle, as a I'm going into battle now, and I'm gonna win no matter what, and when I come out the other side, you're going to be on my side.
Right.
I think that's how I try and go into a show.
And I'm sure there's also another problem, especially for the comedians, hecklers. How do you deal with them?
I love them. I adore hecklers. I think hecklers are, and can be, people who are nervous, who are drunk, who are probably showing off to their friends, families, and maybe girlfriends and boyfriends. So I had one recently in Las Vegas. The heckler was a female, and I started my performance. I did about 10 minutes, and she shouted out from the audience. She said, "I didn't come here to watch piano. I came here to watch comedy." And I paused, and the audience all reacted and went, "Ooh," like as if where we're going to go with this. And I very respectfully ruined this young lady in the audience to the point that she was probably ready to leave the show. But as a heckler, if you're going to heckle me, you got to take the heckle as well. You got to take what I give you back.
Be ready.
Be ready. And if you're not ready, then don't speak. And finally, the show finished, and I said to a lot of people, I said, look, if I said something to offend you, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, and blah, blah, blah. When I said you're ugly, I didn't mean it. And when I said you were bald, I didn't mean it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going around. And when I came to her, and I said, and when I said you were really annoying, I meant every word. Like I said, the audience fell about laughing. She then approached me at the end of the show, gave me a massive cuddle, and said, I enjoyed your performance so much. Thank you. I said, why did you heckle? She said, I just felt like you were the type to accept it.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. Armenia is one of the most amazing countries on earth, yet the rest of the world knows little about it. Well, that's about to change. My name's Kev Orkian. I'm a musician, actor and comedian, and I tour all over the world.
Did you think look at me? I'm coming back again. I got a taste for love. Simple way if you need to know why I'm still standing. That's good.
We've come to an agreement. This is a solo. You sing, beautiful song, like this, like this, putting it off. Go. And it's my mission and my lifelong dream to bring a film about my country to the rest of the world. So I'm meeting up with some of the world's most famous Armenians. Kim Kardashian, Serj Tankian from System of a Down, Sebu Simonian, pop sensation, and of course our veteran singer Charles Aznavour, who are all Armenian. I want to know if any of their talent has rubbed off on the locals in Armenia today. And along the way, discover the very best in food, fashion, wine and cognac. Not to mention the breathtaking views and the spectacular sights. There might be things you don't know. For example, we were the first people to invent the ATM machine, the MRI machine. The MiG aeroplane is actually designed by an Armenian. And of course, the cement truck. Incredible things, like the fact that only a few days ago, they discovered the oldest street in Armenia, 2,700 years. Wow. We were the first Christians in 301 AD. Another amazing discovery. So join me in a journey of a lifetime as we celebrate everything great about Armenia, both past and present. In my new film, coming soon, Armenia Uncovered.
Յուրաքանչյուրիս ձևավորման վրա մեծ ազդեցություն ունի մեր ժառանգությունը, մեր ընտանիքը, մեր համայնքը։ Մենք իմաստավորում ենք կյանքը մեր ընկալումներով ու գործերով։ Գործեր, որ կապրեն դարեդար։ Մարդկային հիշողությունը իսկական պարգև է։ Ամեն մի կյանք ստեղծում է իր սեփական ուղին։ Glendale Funeral Home հաստատությունը պատրաստ է ցուցաբերել հատուկ ուշադրություն իր բազմազան ծառայությունների շնորհիվ։ International Families Association is a non-profit organization. Կազմակերպություն, որ տարիներ շարունակ ծառայում է ի նպաստ ցածր եկամուտ ունեցող ընտանիքների։ Յուրաքանչյուր երկուշաբթի եւ չորեքշաբթի օրերին կեսօրից հետո ժամը 2-ից 5-ը տրամադրվում է անվճար ուտելիք եւ այլ ապրանքներ։ Ընդունվում է ամեն տեսակի հովանավորություն։ Մանրամասների համար զանգահարել 818-770-0779 հեռախոսահամարով։
For advertising on Inside TV, please call 818-653-0199.
Armenia Uncovered was an unbelievable journey. Was it a passion project?
Yeah, it was a passion, but a necessity project as well. I think the journey that me and Andy had together with this was I wanted to do a documentary quite a number of years ago about Armenia, but not about our historic Armenia, which is, of course, the most important is our genocide. I didn't want to emphasize on that too much because a lot of people have done documentaries on the Armenian genocide. There's books, there's documentaries, absolutely, and of course The Promise, you know, and Ararat, and all these great movies that have been out. And what I wanted to do was do something that was more about modern Armenia. And I met a wonderful gentleman who approached me through a social media site and said, look, my name's Andy Simon, and I'm an Armenian. I live in Australia and I'm dying to do a documentary about Armenia, and I want you to present it. And I said, well, this is amazing because I actually want to do a documentary about Armenia. So I went to Australia, I met him, we discussed the project, we did a number of great sizzles, great trailers for the actual film. And then we put the project together, we wrote it, we designed it, we knew exactly where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. And lo and behold, where we stumbled, the wall we stumbled upon was the finances, and it worked out very expensive for us. So we then kind of reached out to people, and it was very difficult to get the sponsorship we needed. And one guy called Rafi, wonderful man, and a very old-time friend as well, came forward and said, the money's there, you're going. So we basically packed our bags, put the project together, and we went for 2.5 weeks to Yerevan, and we basically did the documentary, and we went from the top of Hayastan, Armenia, right down to the bottom and across both ways, and we just filmed everything that was beautiful and current and modern about Armenia, including, of course, the churches. I mean, Arshalus, have you been there?
Of course.
Of course, right.
Yeah.
So you know all the churches, all
Most
the
of them,
Echmiadzin,
yes.
Khorvirapnera. We went all to those places and we filmed them, we documented them, and we took all the facts and everything. Plus, we actually employed a wonderful lady called Sirarpi, who joined our team in Armenia, and she got us all the acceptance letters to go to places that no public can go. So we ended up doing probably one of the best documentaries I'm hoping that people will ever see about Armenia.
So you had the green light and the production group was professional. That's the
Totally.
most important thing.
Totally.
And I'm sure there were highlights making a documentary. That was your first time working on a
me,
documentary project?
First time working on the documentary in Armenia, fifth time being in Armenia. But for me, yeah, there was the most incredible highlights. The fact that you're going out of Yerevan into the villages and you see people and how they survive in such famine, in such poverty, and they're still smiling and they're still putting out a king's dinner for you, and you're looking at them going, where is all this food coming from, you know? So the highlights for me were definitely meeting people outside of Yerevan, going to places people hadn't been allowed to go before. One of the places we went to was Echmiadzin. We went underneath Echmiadzin to the historic part of the church, which was mind-blowing. We also went to some incredible places. We went to Natural Spring, a natural spa, and I went straight into the water. It was just, apparently it has healing powers. So that was wonderful to experience. And then, of course, one of my favorite moments was playing the piano in Khorvirap on the actual hill overlooking Mount Ararat. It was just a dream come true. You can have these fresh, dried, or from tins. But where in the world do they come from and taste the best? Armenia, of course. Noah got thousands of these guys in all shapes and sizes onto his ark. And where did it come to rest? On Mount Ararat, in ancient Armenia, of course. Pomegranates are being hailed as the new superfood. But which country gave these little gems to the world? Armenia, of course. Which country was the first in the world to adopt Christianity as its national religion? Armenia, of course. Where can you taste the most exotic wines made from mulberries and apricots and visit the oldest winery in the world? 6,000 years to be precise. Armenia, of course. Where in the world is chess compulsory for all school kids?
Checkmate.
Armenia, of course. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Thanks.
You're great. Where in the world can you be walking to work, someone water bombs you? Armenia, of course.
I know you have funny stories, of course, but we won't get into that at the moment because we do have some teasers and
Absolutely.
we'll air them for the viewers. But I know that Kev always works on several projects at the same time. So what's next for Kev Orkian?
Kev Orkian has too many projects. I think that's my problem. I have too many projects. I'm currently doing, obviously, the documentary, which is coming out in a very short time. I'm now touring the world. I've just finished my show here in LA. I'm now off to Toronto and Montreal to finish off my world tour in the US. And then I go on a world tour to Europe and then on to Australia. So that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm going to Australia in June to also do another production show called Sleeping Beauty. So I'm doing that in Australia. And then I come back. I'm writing a book at the moment called Growing Up Armenian.
Oh, wow.
It's a comedy take on my life growing up as an Armenian boy in England, but still having to grow up with the Armenian traditions rather than the English. So it's a very funny take on how my parents brought me up in a country that was so different from our own, you know. So I'm doing that. And then I have a Christmas production, which I'm hoping to do, which is, there's 3 projects. I have to choose one, but all 3 projects are very exciting Christmas projects. And then in 2019, which I continue to do, I'm doing a musical in the West End, playing the lead. And then I go to Africa, South Africa. I'm in 2019. Absolutely, I'm the only comedian in the world now, I think, that's done the Cape Town Funny Festival 7 years for that audience. So, going to go out there and do that. And then we are also climbing Mount Ararat this year. So I've already jumped next year. Henrik Mkhitaryan, yeah. We've asked him. He's shown much excitement on wanting to come with us, and we're going to be climbing Mount Ararat sometime in September, October this year, and documenting every aspect of that. So, and that what you can hear now is not my stomach. It's a motorbike in the background. Okay, just to let you know. But we're going to be documenting that. So Ararat is another big project that we're doing.
My name is Kev Orkian. I'm from Armenia. I'm gonna do Elton John, this CD version. Picking up the beep, 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 beep. CD's given. Where are you from? North London.
You are through to the next round. Well done.
I can't believe I've even gotten through to the semi-finals. I mean, it's like... In my first audition, I pretended to come out as an Armenian character. The judges and the audience really fell for my act. It was just amazing.
He's funny, he's got a great voice, he's a talented musician, everything that we want as a variety act.
The character is inspired by my mum. She is from Armenia. Everything that I portray on stage is her.
I'm very, very proud. What can I say?
Music was the first thing in my life. I started off at the age of 4 learning to play the piano. I've been a gardener, you know, I've been a florist, window cleaner, but I never contemplated wanting to do a 9 to 5. For me, it wouldn't fulfill my dreams. Tonight, my Armenian character is coming back with something new and exciting.
Kev is a one-trick pony. Now that we know what the act is, I've got no idea what he can do next.
I have to prove there's more to my act than what the audience and the judges have seen already. This is an opportunity I have been waiting for all my life.
Here he is, please welcome Kev Orkian.
Thank you so much. Before I start, I would like to say a big thank you to Deccan Ant, because last time I was on the show, they said to me, "You're from Armenia, do you have any identification?" I said no. So today, they give me my very own British passport. It's fantastic. Yes, there's a picture and everything, you know. I have to change it, it's not me. But from now on, you can call me Louis Walsh. So...
Each of us is shaped by our heritage, our community, our family. In turn, we leave a lasting impression on those we've touched. That's what makes a life. That's what makes a legacy. Celebrate your life your way with Glendale Funeral Home. Customized services that honor your memory, created to fit you. Glendale Funeral Home. How do you want to be remembered?
Spring Beauty Event, Saturday, May 12th. Preview the most exciting summer trends. Enjoy complimentary services all day and receive gifts. Your $25 reservation fee will be credited toward the beauty purchase of your choice. RSVP to 818-207-2211. Learn how to customize your own fragrance. Mark your calendar. Tom Ford Masterclass on June 9th with Caroline and Katrina. Every $100 you spend, you'll get $25 in rewards. Food, drinks, and gifts await you. For appointments, call 818-207-2211. International Families Association is a non-profit organization. Կազմակերպություն, որ տարիներ շարունակ ծառայում է ի նպաստ ցածր եկամուտ ունեցող ընտանիքների։ Յուրաքանչյուր երկուշաբթի եւ չորեքշաբթի օրերին կեսօրից հետո ժամը 2-ից 5-ը տրամադրվում է անվճար ուտելիք եւ այլ ապրանքներ։ Ընդունվում է ամեն տեսակի հովանավորություն։ Մանրամասների համար զանգահարել 818 770 0779 հեռախոսահամարով։
Now, tonight, I'm going to sing a beautiful Armenian love song I have written for you, Amanda. And I hope you enjoy it very much. It's a song I wrote just for you, and I'm gonna sing it to you. I'm gonna dedicate this to Mr. Pierce and Mr. Howell's ladies as well, but this is for you in the style of Enrique Iglesias. Can I have some romantic lighting, please? Thank you. Amanda. Oh, I'm a paninzi. Hen panergës sesin Hen panergës sesin zi Hampuren Vorove devin zi Wine your body, wiggle your belly Amen pan, I love you Seni seviyorum If you know the verse, join in Seni istiyorum Amen pan Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest in English because you don't understand. Cause I love you and I need you, want you in my heart. Amanda, marry me so I can get my green card. Okay, you know what? Mr. Pierce and Mr. Howell didn't like that because they got left out. This is for them.
Thank you very much. Okay.
For advertising on Inside TV, please call 818-653-0199.